Hello, hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Let me see if my white mic is working. Seems to be fine. If you guys can't hear me, make sure you comment down below because I did have a problem with my microphone last time. I just want to make sure that the volume and everything is working. But the market is set to open in about 2 minutes now. We are going ahead and already marked out the previous day's high right here with this line, previous day low right here. So I'll let you know what the plan is. Since we already broke the high right here, I kind of want, hey, how's it going? I appreciate you guys tuning in and everything. But this is what's going on. Since we already broke through the high pre-market hours, and yesterday this was our support here, we kind of just went up. So this is indicating bullish momentum. We definitely are starting to reverse back up again. Um, Since we have not created a lower low, I'm not going to be trying to buy in here because it's less likely for the stock to go below this point. Pretty much what I'm looking for, since we broke through the high, I want to buy somewhere in this zone. So if I switch over to the 4 hour time frame, I would need to come back down to about maybe 1425 if I want to get in on a good deal. That's the price point I'm going to try to enter. I hope we get in. If we just lift off, then I kind of might miss out on the trade. I hope that doesn't happen. Um, I'm hoping for a little pullback because I don't just want to get in on an overpriced, you know, at an overpriced price point. But let me see. We just opened up, so let's see which direction we go. I'm on the 30-minute time frame right now, and the current price is 1453. We are slightly pulling back, but we are not really doing anything as of right now. I already got my water ready. I got my coffee on this side, ready to go. Hello, hello, everyone. So let's see, what are we doing right now? We are 1447, kind of cruising around this number. Um, since we haven't fully confirmed the direction yet, this is why I don't just want to enter at this price because we do have on the 30-minute, we have the moving average resistance right here. We are indicating reversal right now because as of this morning so far, we did not break this previous day support. And then this was the previous day high and we broke that pre-market hours. This indicates a lot of, confidence, but at the same time, we haven't fully stabilized yet. This is why I'm waiting for a bit of a pullback to get in because there's not 100% confidence yet. If we decide to just shoot up, I'm fine with that. I will miss out on the trade, but for me, it's better to miss out than to lose money because then tomorrow I have to make it back up and now it's 2 days lost. So to me, it's just a lot better to just miss out on the trade and then make gains tomorrow if that happens. Or I will get in at a good deal and increase my odds. Let's try to go to the 5 minute time frame. It's not a lot going on right now. We kind of have that moving average support at 1442, and we are not picking direction as of yet. I appreciate you all tuning in. This is kind of the plan. Since we broke through the high right here, this is the previous day high. We broke through it. This is indicating bullish momentum on the day. And we pre-market hours, we didn't even want to go low. And this is our support at 1397. So it's going to be less likely for us to go down below that point because we didn't even try to do it pre-market hours. So I'm not trying to wait till we go all the way down. We are showing bullish momentum, but at the same time, we have the moving average right here, resistance, and we haven't fully confirmed a reversal yet. Because if we go on the 4 hour time frame right here, we have these highs right here that are going to be a little bit in the way. And I feel like we might have to retest the moving average one more time to show that there is confidence before we blast off. So, in order for me to get in a trade, I want to get in at a good deal. I kind of want a pullback to maybe 14.25. That's going to be my entry point, and I'll stop loss out if we go below this line. But if we end up just going up and I'll miss out on it, then so be it. Because I'm not trying to overpay for something. I'm trying to get into where the odds are in my favor. And right now, it is still trading at 14.54, 14.55, not really showing any signs, too hard signs of a pullback. Let's see. My only concern is that we did have 2 green days in a row. They weren't anything significant. It's not like they were 5% up on the day or anything like that. They were It was a few percentage points, both days, but probability-wise, you can't keep having green days forever. There is going to be a pullback, but since they weren't so big, I'm still kind of expecting this to go up after we get a pullback. But as of right now, we are not still not choosing a direction, still trading at 14.50. I'm gonna go ahead and place my price point at 14.25. That's if we hit that target. I will be buying in at that price point. Let's see. So I placed an order for 14.25, and if we don't hit it, that's okay with me. Like I said, I'm fine with missing out on the trade, especially it being a Friday. Um, I already had a good week, so I'm not trying to, shorten my week with a loss. I kind of want to get in at a better price point if we reach that point. And we are starting to pull back a little bit. We are at 14.45, but we do have this EMA line on the 30-minute time frame acting as support. And then on the 1 hour, we have the moving average down here, which this would be awesome because the moving average on the 1 hour time frame is 14.20. That will act as support. On the 4 hour, we got this moving average close to the same price. So there's definitely some good support around 14.20. And that would be a good deal for me if we pull back down. As you can see, what price are we at now? 14.44. So we are pulling back a little bit, nothing significant. I'm kind of waiting for that entry point, so we'll see if we hit it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I know it can be a little confusing. I am currently compiling a video of my exact trading strategy, and that should be released in a few days. Um, it will pretty much show risk management, where I enter, and how I do things consistently. And I keep it very simple. I don't try to overcomplicate it because the simple strategy, once you figure out and fine tune it, it works. And you can do that repeatedly and consistently over and over. You're basically looking for the same patterns. We are still on the 5 minute, bouncing around that moving average, not really showing further signs of a pullback below 1440, just kind of hovering above that price. And I know a lot of people want this to go up because they've loaded up on shares. We've been down a lot. Uh, in the long term, I definitely think this is going to go up a lot. We got two analysts now predicting this stock should be worth. Well, one of them is saying it should be worth at $18 flat, and the other one is predicting 18.50. So that's definitely a huge amount compared to what it's worth now, 14.47. So in the long term, it's definitely going to be worth more, especially the more earnings report come out, the more foundation they build, the stronger the company's going to get and their profits and um, everything slowly should increase over time. So that will definitely bring more buyers, and I think this will definitely go up. But in the short term, if you are a day trader, you kind of want to be getting in at good price points, good deals, and then selling on the day. You don't want to be holding this for weeks because that's not the point of day trading. If you are investing long term, it's not a bad idea. This is a definitely good stock to invest into long term. But if you are day trading, you kind of have to stick to those rules. And that's why a lot of times I will sell, and some people think I'm still selling cheap, but I'm also day trading with this account. I have a long-term portfolio where I stocked up on the stock a bit, but that's what I'm doing on this account is just day trading. We're not doing much right now, still hovering at 1449, kind of pulling back up. Looks like we are bouncing off the 5-minute moving average. Let's see if we re-break this EMA on the 5-minute time frame. Here we go, 1456, 1457. And we are starting to go back up 1462 as of right now. Our highest point on the day to day pre-market hours was 1467. So if we break that, we definitely are going to be showing a lot more confidence. And we, for the next day or so, we might close off Friday well above this moving average if we decide to break that point. And we are 1467 right now, 1468. We just broke that high on the pre-market. We are starting to show a bit more bullish momentum. And here we go, starting to go over 1480. Let me see. That was a pretty good boost. But you could see once we break that pre-market high how fast the confidence steps in and how fast people start buying up because that's what people are looking for that high to be broken. I feel like I kind of missed out now, but I was waiting for a little bit of a bigger pullback. And like I said, it's okay to miss out. You know, it's a lot better for me to, because imagine if I bought up here and we decided to pull all the way down, I would be taking a loss. We are 14. Wow, we are really starting to break out. Let me see. I'm trying to run the math real quick to see if what the odds are of going above $15. Wow, we are 1490. We are really going up now. What a solid breakout on the day. We are up 3% now on the day. Let me see. 102 share. Showing really good bullish momentum at 1490. We are up 3.5% on the day. I hate to say this, but since we have already up 2 green days in a row, and this is the third one, and we are up 3%. Once we get closer to the $15, I might open a short position. I know a lot of people don't like that, but $14, yes, it's a very strong, and that's what's good because $14 before, when we had a bearish pattern, we went back down to like 12 something dollars. And now we kind of showed that although there was some fear over here, we pulled down to 13.97 and didn't want to go any lower. That's a good sign because some people think, why are we constantly pulling back every time we try to retest um the 15, $16 range? Well, we are retesting these areas to make sure that the confidence is there. And every time we retest them, they don't go as low. So maybe we push to 16, and next time we retest it, hopefully we don't go to 14. We stabilize at 15. And then that way we got a lot more confidence to push towards $18 mark. Because see over here, we pushed to $16.04, but look at this wick, how quickly we sold off. We sold off for the next 2 days, going to lows of 13.97 over here, but then we showed a lot of confidence, saying a lot of people are loading up on shares. There's traders that are entering, wanting this to break the $16 range. So it's good to have these pullbacks because then we build a better foundation for a longer term, kind of like this. And then if we had more fear, then yeah, that would mean the stock is not as stable as we thought. But when it does this kind of stuff, this kind of shows that the greed, the confidence is there, and people definitely want to load up on this. I wouldn't say necessarily low volume on the day. I think it's just a confusion of, there's people loading up on these shares long term. There's day traders that are trying to come in, but they also are just not 100% sure because this stock has seen a pretty good beating in the last few months. So people are afraid to get in if it's not like an oversold area. Like, kind of like me today, I explained the plan for you guys. That's why I didn't want to get in at these price points. I was waiting to pull in for it to pull back to 14.25 because of what we've been seeing for the past few days, like the sell-offs. I was waiting for a little bit more of a pullback. I knew the confidence was there, but I want to lower my risk by it having to pull back a little bit. Because if it pulls back a little bit more and I get in here, I could set my stop loss a little bit lower. Rather than if I get in here, my stop loss would have to be higher, and that increases risk a little bit. So I don't necessarily think low volume, especially of us being up already 2.5% on the day and it's only morning still. I just think there's a little bit of confusion. And once that confusion clears up a little bit, I think we could possibly step on the gas a little bit more. But on the 30-minute, we are kind of trying to break through and also selling off the moving average a little bit. So we'll see if this holds. If this decides to hold and we re-break this high, this could definitely indicate more confidence. But if we get rejected, we might go back down to the EMA. This is why I quickly talked about, if we get closer to, what price was that? 14.91. I want it maybe 14.98, open a short position. And I know you guys sometimes think that I'm betting against the stock, but I'm day trading. I'm trying to minimize my risk. I don't want to necessarily short this stock because I have long-term shares that I'm holding betting for the upside, but for a quick trade to short and mitigate my risk, it might not be a bad idea. So let me see. If we reach a point of 14.96, let me see. 14.96. I might open a small short position, but like I said, I really don't want to do that because I don't want to bet against this stock right now, especially it showing this much bullish momentum. So, I'm just going to enter a small position because it is Friday. Sorry guys, I don't mean to bet against the Bulls, but maybe you guys can laugh in my face if I lose some money. So I'm opening a short position here. 14, well, not here, at 14.96. We're 14.90 right now. I kind of want it to go up a little bit more. And this is showing really, really solid ground for the future how this is moving because we saw how much bullish momentum we had up here. And then we were just so bullish for 3 or 4 days or so. And we finally, when people thought we're going to keep going up, we're not going to have a pullback. Pullbacks happen. It's normal, especially for something to be overpriced. This is what happened right here. Look how much this wick, how much we pulled back, and then we sold off for 2 days. We are at 14.93 right now. We're getting close, but we sold off and we showed some solid ground right above this 1 hour moving average, and then we rebroke the EMA and broke through this resistance area, which is definitely a good sign on the day. I mean, not on the day, but on the week, and kind of indicating that we might go back up closer to this price range, the 15, $16 range, to retest this area. Because once we come up to the 15, $16 range, and if we start getting rejected here, that might show low confidence. But if we don't and we start hovering around this price for the next few days, then we can have a significant move towards the upside and potentially break the $16 price point. What are we doing? Let me see. 14. We were 2 cents away from me opening that short, and it didn't execute. Maybe it'll execute right now. Well, like I said, I also don't want to short in a bad spot because we are showing some bullish momentum. I can accidentally get stop loss too quick with how bullish this is right now. I want to get in, but I want to get in at slightly a higher price range so that I have more room for a stop loss. I almost want to kind of, I feel like greed is kicking in. I kind of want to just lower my target, but like I said, I'd rather be safe. So definitely, even if you're an experienced trader, you still feel those emotions of greed and you still feel those emotions of, um, you know, fear and stuff like that. It's just you get really, really good at managing it because through consistent wins, you start seeing how successful you get, and therefore it pretty much concretes your all of your beliefs and everything in, and you don't want to break those rules anymore because the more success you see, the more you want to stick to those rules, and that's kind of how I've been. But you still feel those emotions, you just kind of feel them and you still understand what is going on because it's all part of the same game. I just needed to wick a little bit higher. 14.96, we are so close. Let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame. So looking pretty solid. We do have a resistance up here, this wick right over here. Um, Nothing too crazy, but I feel like we are getting, since we're 3.5% up. If you think about it, how high or how low can we? I mean, how much higher can we go on the day once we get closer to the 5% target? Because it the odds of it going 10% is a lot less, especially with us being 2 green days in a row. When we're getting up to these 4% movements, as you can see here, are we really going to go up 5 more percent? We might go up 1% and then pull back. That kind of increases my odds of a short. Here we go. 95. Come on. 1490. There we go. I opened a short at 1496 and we have now broke the $15 price range. 1496. My stop loss is at 15. Pamp it. My stop loss is at 1519. It's a pretty tight stop loss, but we are showing a lot of bullish momentum. If I get stop loss, then so be it. But the way I see it, we are up 4% on the day. And how much I mean, how much higher can we go? So we could go higher. I've seen days where we go, 10%. I've seen stocks go 20% in one day. I'm not saying it's impossible. And we can definitely have some institutions or somebody kick in. But I play the odds game, and odds are slightly in my favor because of it being slightly overpriced on the day. But it is showing bullish momentum. So we'll see where this goes. Let me set my stop loss. I know you guys want me to lose money, so that ain't gonna happen. I'm kidding. I mean, both sides, you can make money on both sides. You can make money on it going up. You can make money on a pullback. I can open a short, it pulls back a little bit, and I can make money on a small short and then exit and then it goes back up. It doesn't mean that I'm betting against a stock and this stock is bad. And I actually really like this stock and I have long term shares in it. But since I am day trading with this account, I am playing the odds game. Let me go ahead and set my 15.19 diamond hands. um, for those of you that do have diamond hands, this would be the stock to do it on. I'm not gonna lie, because I do feel like this stock is really, really good. Because I looked into their revenues and stuff. It wasn't the best last quarter, but it was not bad. And the fact that they are consistently still growing, um, they are growing, and that's a good sign. And analysts predicting this should be worth at $18. I know some of you have diamond hands, but I don't necessarily do that. I have a long-term portfolio that I'm just willing to hold this stock for about a year to 3 years in the long term. But on this account, I am trading. So let me go ahead and set that stop loss. 1519 is my stop loss. And for those of you just tuning in, we opened a short position at 14, what was it? 96. 1496. And here we go. We're pulling back 1478. Yeah, I crashed the market single-handedly. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys. Let me see. 1496. My sell target is going to be at 1452. If we get there, I will be exiting at 1452 and locking in my profit. On the day, I'm going to go ahead and set that order as well. 1452. But here's the thing, since we showed this huge bullish momentum, if some of you are playing the opposite side, the bullish side, let's say if I didn't open that short position, this would be the perfect pullback for me to get in on. I would be waiting for this to pull back down closer to the $1450 range and maybe opening a small position towards the bullish side because we are showing good bullish momentum and this would be a good pullback. I would just mitigate my risk, put a stop loss, but it would be somewhere around 1450 if I were to be opening a bullish position. Pretty decent sized pullback, 1469, 1470. Um, Let me see here. 1452 would be right at our support line here. So 1466, we're pulling back a significant amount right now from the high of 1504 that we had. And this is what I mean, guys. It's a lot better to be patient. Like I was patient this morning. I could have easily jumped into a position, but I was willing to miss out on a trade. And instead, it made me patient. I waited a bit. And now we kind of caught a pretty solid pullback. 1464. We do have the EMA line here acting as support at 1460. So I know some of you would probably tell me to lock in profits right now, but the way I see it is every single time I open a trade, I'm prone to taking a loss. So the more trades are open, the more potential losses I could have. So when I do open a trade finally, I need it to go into my favor because I've placed a certain amount of loss on the table that I'm willing to take. So therefore, I need a certain amount of gain, if that makes sense, for that risk. So if I was willing to take a certain amount of loss, I'm trying to get a certain amount of gain for me to take this off the table. We are 1466, slightly showing signs of support here, and we have the EMA of 1460 on the 5 minute time frame. On the 30 minute, it looks like we got rejected by the moving average, but this doesn't mean that we got fully rejected because we would have to break through the CMA line for it to show negative momentum. But as of right now, if you were looking for a bullish position, like I said, this would be close a good price point because we could bounce here and go all the way up. Starting to show slightly good signs of bullish momentum again, 1475. If we pull back right below this EMA, 14 closer to the support line, that would be perfect for me. I can close out the trade and I'd be done. But if we start showing bullish momentum climbing back up, I will not move my stop loss. It'll still be at 1519, and then I would just exit there. But as of right now, how big this candle is, it's kind of showing me a slight loss of confidence on the day. It doesn't mean that we're not going to come back later in the day. In fact, I would argue that we probably would, just because of the bullish momentum we showed um, in the past day with a solid support 14. But we will see where this goes, and we are pulling back down 1466. I hate when it's so close to your exit target and it just doesn't want to trigger it. I kind of wanted to just trigger my stop. I mean, not my stop loss, trigger my sell order and then go back up for you guys. But we can't always want what the market, we can't always predict what the market wants. We still have a decent amount for it to drop for me to execute the trade. Well, 10 cents, 9 cents. Here we go. We are pulling back a decent amount. 54, come on. 52. It did not trigger. It hit my sell target, but it didn't trigger the order. Come on. It literally hit my sell target, but it didn't trigger the order. $54, $53, $51. There it goes. 1451 triggered. My order was set to 1452 and we went a little below, triggered it. Awesome. That was pretty quick. Caught it all live for you guys. Not enough shares to sell when that happens. You mean you don't have enough shares to do what exactly? Sorry, I was so focused on this chart right here to see if my order would execute. I didn't understand the context. Um, Close that quick short on the day. This might be a good buy opportunity for the upside because this is what I was waiting for it to break this, and we kind of broke it at 1450. I was waiting for 1425 to be safe, and since we kind of showed a loss of confidence, I might open a bullish position if we go to 1425, but I don't want to risk it because I did just lock in some profits. Kind of want to keep this end of Friday in good terms. Vamping in the wrong direction now. Well, to me, I'm out of the trade, so it wouldn't matter to me which direction we go. But at this point, because my sell target was 1452 and we hit that target, but 1450 is a solid support as of right now, and anything below that would be slightly oversold on the day. Um, I think we might be pulling back now, but we still have the rest of the day. And since we've shown a lot of good bullish momentum pre-market and during market open, I think even if we decide to pull down a bit more, I think we'll stabilize and then we're going to try to retest this high. So it might be a good idea to go on a long position, not short this time, but buy in. But I will not do it unless we get slightly better deal. You said, sorry, it doesn't sell at the target price. It means that there's not enough shares on the market to sell that. Yeah, because it hit my target, but like I said, if there's, like you said, if there's just not enough momentum or not enough volume, not enough shares, then sometimes it doesn't get triggered. But when it goes below that price target, it'll trigger because I am selling slightly at a higher price. Yes, that is correct. We are starting to show signs of 1450. We do have the moving average right here on the 5 minute at 1441 currently, or 1442, and we are slightly still selling off. If you guys are wondering why I opened a short position, and I'll explain it to you guys quickly. Um, we had 2 green days in a row. You can't keep having green days, over and over and over again. Sooner or later, there's going to be a red day. Even though they were not significant, 5% green days, they were only like 1, 2, 3%. It's still a green day. And when we opened today, we were showing bullish momentum. This was, if we closed right at this price at 1504, we would have closed a third green day in a row with a 4% gain on the day. So it's just less likely to close at this price point. And even if we go higher, chances are we would at least come back to where I entered. So I had less of a chance to lose money because of it. And that's why I opened a short position. And since I was patient, I set my stop loss to 1519, which was way up here. This means since we were already slightly overbought on the day, in order for my stop loss to get triggered, we would have to go even higher, which was less likely to do. So I kind of took that risk because it was less of a chance. And then when it started going into my direction, even if we stabilized here, we would now have to gain all this back. And then we would have to go all the way back to my stop loss for me to get triggered. So it becomes less likely. Now I can just hold into the direction that I'm already holding and come to my point and make that sell. Bro. Like I said, you can make money on both sides. I am not against the stock, but I do day trade, so I'm quickly scalping these kind of trades. and I don't want to be in the trade long because the longer you are in it, the higher chances you have of it going into a different direction. So we were patient and we opened a position when it was clear to do so. But now we have this moving average and we are showing some activity of not going any lower than this. And since we shown bullish momentum on the in the morning and right at market open, we could potentially make all this back up, which would not be a not be a bad idea to open a long position. But if I were to do it, I want to get in slightly at a better price. When are we clicking 20? Somebody is asking. Well, it'll be exactly, let me tell you, no, I'm kidding. You can't predict exactly when, but if we um take a look at let me see. Let's do Robinhood for instance. A lot of people like to compare this to the Robinhood stock. And although Robinhood fixed a lot of their financial issues, we were down for so long. And here's the thing, when you finally stop creating lows and it starts moving sideways like this and then breaking through, that shows confidence towards the upside. And that's when it started ramping up. If we compare this to the Webull stock, let's take a look on the 1 day chart, the 1 week chart. We weren't down nearly as long as the Robinhood stock, but we already showed some indication of it going up. And then when we pulled down, we didn't pull down as hard like what you see right here. And then we are now going back up. If we break through this high point right here, which what price would that be? That would be the 1887. We can see a significant climb all the way to $24 a share from that point because in people's eyes, the $18 is such a resistance that people are just not, you know, wanting to hold past that point. So therefore, we see a lot of sell-offs. But once the confidence keeps building, and like when every time we reverse, we don't reverse as much as we did before. Then people start opening up the idea of maybe I should hold this past 18. And when that mindset starts to shift, and then the day traders keep buying in, we break through that point. So if I were to guess, I mean, I'm not no analyst, but if I were to guess, I would say maybe by the end of this year. And the reason I would say that because we are starting to show a lot of bullish momentum. We are building up, and we do have one more earnings report coming out this year. And I have a feeling it's going to be good, especially with analysts predicting it should be worth 1850. It wouldn't surprise me if we go past that point because sometimes people buy into the stock and they overprice it because people are greedy and it kind of goes, people sometimes just buy in. Um, that would be my guess by the end of the year to break that $18 and then go to 20, but I'm not exactly 100% sure. Let me see, what are we doing? We are still holding above this moving average at 1450 right now. If we build good support here and re-break the CMA, we might potentially start going back up towards the $15 price range. You said you got a 20K bag, and when are we hitting 20? Not a bad not a bad bag, but, that depends what price you got in at. If you got in at and you're slightly on the profit, that's awesome for you. That means you probably are gonna be more tolerable to holding this a bit, but sometimes people get in and they're already in the negative and they close out prematurely. Um, if you're willing to hold it till the end of the year, because 'cause I'm not exactly sure when that earnings report comes out. They are supposed to either do it December or late November, but sometimes they move the date the closer we get. It's not 100% date, but it should be this year sometime. And I have a feeling that it's going to be solid because I looked into all their revenues and everything last last earnings report, and they missed their target. Like their revenue was good, but their earnings wasn't that good. But that's because they're investing a lot into their company, which to me is a good sign. Um, I think that would be a solid, you know, Would you say 1476? And so you are slightly negative. Did you just enter today, or you already had that price point? I mean, if we take a look at the 4 hour, let's look at the 4 hour 4 hour time frame. When we started selling off right here all these days and stabilized and went all the way down to 1254, we broke through the 4 hour EMA, this blue line here, and showed significant bullish momentum at this price level where we rebroke through the moving average, pulled down, held this EMA, and went even higher. But now that we went higher, this is indicating a uptrend pattern. So we are pulling back to retest, to solidify, to make sure that these are solid grounds. And if we hold up here and decide to go back up, this will definitely reconfirm that the confidence is still there. And that's when we can make the push all the way to $20. And if you take a look, this is exactly what we're doing. The 4 hour EMA line just crossed, and if the confidence was low, this is where we would get rejected and go lower, but we are kind of holding. So it's definitely telling us that this is what this was. We went up a lot, but people are still not 100% confident. But if we keep holding at these levels like this and slightly start going up, we're going to see another big move all the way to $16. And then from there, if confidence is high, we can finally break that and go towards the $18, $20 price range. But we are starting to slightly show less volume. We are building a slight support at 1450. Um, I kind of took my trade for the day. What time is it now? 10. This is what I was talking about. We could see some support here. So if you're opening a long position, this would be a good price point, and then maybe put a stop loss somewhere. But this is not a bad price point to enter, especially us showing this slight bullish momentum. But I already completed my weekly goal, and today caught it live in front of you guys when we predicted this. So I'm kind of good on the day. And since it's starting to show less volume, I'm going to set my alerts. If we break down to 1425, I might enter a long position there. That's kind of my plan. But since I've already accomplished my goal on the day, also, I'm probably just going to stay away. If we decide to go higher, that's fine. I will take a look what happens Monday. But if we hit that 1425, I might re-enter that idea of maybe trying to open up a long position. I'm definitely not going to be shorting anymore because it's a bit more risky. I only did it because the odds was really in my favor at this price range. But take a look at this. We are breaking through that EMA right now, and we are 1459. We're starting to show confidence there. So if I kept holding my short, I would already start burning through my profits a little bit. But we're starting to build solid ground. As you can see, this was pre-market hours, and how we have a lot of volume right here. And when we bounced, lost confidence, but now we're showing good signs of this like area, good support around this area. So if we decide to re-break this, like I said, towards the end of the day, we might come back all the way up to the $15 price range, potentially breaking this high and go even higher. So I appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to be logging off. If you guys like these kind of videos, let me know. I will be hosting live streams here once in a while so that you guys can trade with me. And I really appreciate you guys watching. If you can drop a like, I would really, really appreciate it. It definitely helps me out. I'm trying to grow this channel. This is something I've been doing full time now, and it's definitely a lot better. I've noticed my trades are a lot better when I'm trading live because I'm not just, being emotional and making mistakes, because now you got people watching. So now my trading has become even better, and that's kind of my goal. Even though I already have a winning strategy, I my goal for 2026 is trying to find little loopholes and seeing where I can increase my percentage, where I can hold, where I can do a lot better. Because at the end of the day, you can be a pro trader, you can still get better. If you think that you can't get better, you've reached the limit, then that's on you. But to me, I always feel like you can get better even if you are already good. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you like, subscribe. I will be doing these sessions once in a while. Hopefully, if there's more people watching, I will be doing them more frequently. And once I build up a following, I'll be doing them every day. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next one.